In the world we all know, there's this incredible thing, painless hypodermic needles, like tiny gears weaving through grains of rice, with a thickness of only 1 divided by 130th of a 1,000 yen note. These magical creations owe their existence to top-notch Japanese manufacturing, the kind of skill you'd find in the hands of a humble craftsman. Our main character, MC, takes pride in his 35 years of hard work, but when it all comes to an end, it's a bit underwhelming. Those who master these skills are called artisans, like those at Fujimura Manufacturing. The scene shifts. An old man, our MC named Fujimura, is approached by a guy with 2 batteries. The old man shoots a look at the battery guy and warns, "Don't mess with him. There's no way he can do it with that kind of money and deadline." Now, our MC, introduced as the chief of manufacturing, Takumi Fujiwara, age 70, faces off with the double battery person. This guy says, "It's fine, isn't it? There are plenty of alternatives he can choose from, after all." Besides, from the start, he had the feeling that MC was important and hard to use. With a taunting smile, he adds, "In this era, being a little skilled just won't cut it, and folks like him that don't do good business should be kept quiet and be useful to major companies." The MC doesn't take it lightly. He grabs the guy by the collar, saying, "Listen here, we've put our damn pride into what we make. I don't want to spoil the taste of cheap booze any further by making something he is not satisfied with." He kicks the double battery guy out, telling him to get out of his sight. The double battery guy, still talking trash, says this is why their products are so cheap and warns that he won't get away with this for free. He mentions that it's a small industry, and he'll make sure this incident is reported to his superiors. Alone at midnight, our MC reflects on his situation, wondering if there's any place that will hire an old man like him. He looks at his experienced hands. This world, the only one he's ever known, has him clueless about what else there is. Single with no parents or children, he figures he'll make it one way or another. As he leaves the factory, he looks back, reminiscing about the past and the sordid and sweet moments he experienced there. He became independent, thinking that maybe his life really was a job well done. But as he grabs onto a board, a heart-wrenching pain hits him, and he falls down, regretting that if only he had a chance. Then, in a twist we all wish for after we die, he's transported to a new world at a younger age. A sign pops up, "Master Craftsman." The MC, bewildered, wonders if he collapsed. Moving around, he encounters a girl, Frau von Freya, trying to slash a tree trunk. She has a prosthetic arm, and our MC, still a bit confused, asks where he is. Freya explains that it's not her watermelon but her prosthetic arm. Our MC, thinking this is a dream, finds himself transformed into a snot-nosed kid on a trip to Europe, a place he's never been before. Freya asks if he seemed a little depressed back then. MC dismisses it, and he quickly crafts a prosthetic arm for her, asking her to wear it. Impressed, Freya praises it, saying it's amazing and has a great sense of unity. She can't believe he did it so fast. She tells him he's like a legend. Freya dreams of becoming a hero with legendary weapons, but reality bites. She's a powerless healer, recently kicked out of her party, and now a solo adventurer. MC can't wrap his head around the nonsense this person has been spouting, feeling like he stumbled into some absurd dream. In an attempt to jolt himself awake, he slaps himself hard, resulting in a nosebleed that he finds particularly unpleasant. Freya steps in and heals him, claiming that her healing abilities are the only thing she's confident in. She mentions she owes him big time, as the staff she used is from her family's treasure, involving a rare B-class stone and a crystal, which is rare even in this country. In the midst of MC's bewilderment, he fumbles for his cigarettes, trying to shake off the vague feeling that this isn't a dream. He contemplates the fact that he's now in some other world, thinking about heroes fighting the Demon King, magical items, and a septuagenarian getting offered a bona fide great adventure. It dawns on him that, even in his younger state, he desires this kind of dream. Now faced with the challenge of making a living, he realizes that if he wants arms, no matter how many, he has no choice but to craft his own. Turning to Freya, he asks for a temporary loan of her staff, insisting it'll only be for 2 to 3 months, and he just wants to understand what it takes. Freya hesitates, citing the familial significance of the items. But MC, showcasing remarkable acting skills, tears down her resistance. She eventually agrees, and MC assures her that the old geezer will take good care of it. Freya, amused, emphasizes that it's just a loan. MC suggests heading to the workshop and grabbing a bite. Freya warns him to steer clear of the northern mountain, especially at night, due to reported sightings of ominous eyes, a demon of the night with a triple B subjection rank that wreaked havoc on villages in the past. Though supposedly slain by kingdom knights years ago, recent reports suggest a resurgence. MC, seemingly carefree, jokes about leaving Freya screaming if he is even listening. Undeterred, Freya insists on the danger. The scene shifts as MC realizes he's in the fantasy world of Elvna, with special minerals unique to this realm. Magic stones, electricity, and heat can be harnessed by channeling mana, acting like natural batteries for magic use in daily life and combat. Examining a core, MC senses a precious core within the stone, recognizing it as being on a different level than others. When pressed on a table, a small blast occurs, confirming the presence of a high-purity crystal core within the stone. This core comprises only 20% of the stone's internal volume, indicating the magic of this world is a mere fraction of its original power. Engaging in metalworking, MC faces a challenging process divided into 4 parts. True craftsmanship requires an acute awareness of subtle changes in metal warpage, strain, and even temperature variations on the skin, surpassing the progress of machines in quantity and accuracy. After 3 days of intense work, MC reflects on the exhaustion, realizing his mind bears the brunt of it as he experiences numerous scenes. Smoking a cigarette, he contemplates the young lass, acknowledging her as a powerless hero on a solo adventure, prosthetic and all. Despite her challenges, he understands he shouldn't be too harsh, recognizing the difficulties of being on his own. The discovery, extraction, and processing of these CES mark the world's first craft in this new realm. 3 months later, Freya returns, reminding MC that the deadline is over and she needs her stuff back. To her horror, she finds MC seemingly lifeless. However, he suddenly wakes up, proclaiming he made it, and asks her to wait a minute, proudly showcasing a high-spec gun. MC mentions he has always wanted to try making one since childhood. Freya demands to know where her staff is, and MC playfully claims it's in her hand. To her shock, he's transformed her family treasure into a stylish, high-performance gun. Freya angrily asks MC to turn it back to normal, but he insists they should try it out. He highlights the benefits of the gun, made from her own ped core metal and capable of harvesting magic stones. Freya, initially upset, is impressed by the vast collection of stones and questions how MC achieved this. He attributes it to his enhanced perception since coming to this world, allowing him to see shining elements inside rocks and understand precise locations and processing points. As the conversation unfolds, a loud noise interrupts them, and they discover a triple-eyed demon at their home. Freya is terrified, wondering why it's active in broad daylight and if it's influenced by magic stones. Freya warns them to flee, emphasizing the demon's danger. However, MC proposes shooting a hole in the roof to deal with it. Freya reveals the demon is a result of a knight's curse that brought ruin to the region, and even a colossal queen-class demon, as they wouldn't stand a chance against it. MC hands the gun to Freya, insisting she deal with the threat. Freya is hesitant and scared, expressing her fear of standing there doing nothing. MC encourages her, explaining the gun's usage and trusting her to handle it. As the demon lunges at Freya, MC guides her, instilling trust in his craftsmanship. Freya doubts the effectiveness of the gun, but MC reassures her as he approaches the demon. Freya pulls the trigger, successfully defeating the demon. MC introduces the gun as Bakuin Fuji, magic equipment concentrating wasted energy into a single point, created through his pent magic stone manufacturing process. MC reveals that over the past 3 months, prototypes have piled up, and Bakuin Fuji is now safe and practical for anyone to use. He expresses his determination to make Freya the world's strongest hero, proving his crafting skills to the world. He envisions defeating the Demon King, making Freya the hero of her dreams, and gaining recognition as the greatest craftsman. Freya, struggling to comprehend the sudden turn of events, agrees to follow MC if he can make it happen. She realizes that this might be a miracle craftsman and decides to join MC on an adventure to shock the world. The scene shifts to the past, where Freya's previous comrades were fighting a giant monster. The leader says, "Don't let it get away, and if we defeat this thing, we too can become a class apart." He tells Freya to get ready to heal. While Freya is healing an injured child, this fucker criticizes her, calling her good-for-nothing trash and questioning why she is wasting her magic on a villager. Freya insists on helping the child immediately, and the person glares at her. The giant monster attacks Freya, and this dickhead doesn't protect her, resulting in her being gravely injured. On the bed, injured, the son of F declares that she's no longer of any use, blaming her for the failure and reducing her rank to the lowest. Freya wakes up in the present, thinking about the past shock. She begins writing a letter to her mother, expressing that she's doing her best to become the hero she has longed for, alongside a miracle worker from another world. MC introduces a megaphone called a Fujimoa speaker, explaining its mechanics. Freya covers her ears as MC tests it, making a loud sound. Freya questions why she has to defeat the Demon King, suggesting that MC could achieve the wish by himself. MC dismisses the idea, stating that being a hero is like being an entertainer, and he finds it more interesting for her to become the hero. He emphasizes that a craftsman's place is behind the scenes. MC suggests they start by heading to the town. Noticing the hesitation in Freya, she agrees, directing him to the royal capital of Rakudurani. As they walk, MC shakes hands with a beastman, and Freya warns him not to stand out. MC teases her about covering her face, realizing that her ears caught his attention when they first met. Behind them, two adventurers are fighting, and people are betting on them. Freya tries to understand MC, who views the town's atmosphere as a festival. Freya explains that it's a small kingdom in the countryside, referred to as a royal capital but more like a provisional city. Recently, a new dungeon appeared, and tomorrow a selection tournament is being held for the right to be the first to challenge it. To our subscribers who don't know what dungeons are, they are underground layers that have existed since the world's creation, with varying levels and risks. The promise of great adventure attracts many heroes in search of treasures, and the first to discover and make contact with the unknown will claim all the treasures in the dungeon. She mentions that there is even talk of there being enough riches in there to take over the whole country. MC says that in that case, let's go grab it for themselves, as they might even find some other interesting stones. Freya is shocked, saying that's impossible, and adventurers from all over the world, even those from neighboring countries, according to the rumors, will be there. The selection tournament allows parties with a maximum of 5 members, and to start off, there are only 2, and among their competition will be class of parties. MC says it will be fine as she has the weapon of absolute destruction on her side. If she uses that in a manual like that, they will be branded as criminals in front of the heroes for committing mass murder, attracting unwanted attention. Someone says, "Isn't that Frau?" as they whisper. And does that mean the former Scheiden member and those burns and scar are unmistakable, and is Frau the betrayer? As people gossip, they hear that she abandoned her comrades and fled in the middle of the battle, trying to taunt her. MC says that they sure do hate her as she pats on her. As people taunt MC, saying that he looks kind of stupid and that it must be some kind of new goblin species, MC's anger rises and his nerve is about to pop. He says that he has gotten used to trying rapid fire. Freya tries to stop him, but suddenly, from behind, a voice says, to think that he would spot such a familiar face in a place like this, and he's glad that she is still as useless as ever. They are the former members of her, the dual swordsman VK Donor. The surrounding people are amazed by their appearance, and as usual, they sugarcoat their praises. Valk tries to get close to Freya, saying that it's nostalgic and asking if she's doing well. But isn't it depressing that a kid like this is all she could find to lend a hand? Not that she will be able to put together a decent party anymore, regardless of the Frau, the betrayer, all because of those rumors he spread. He says that she may be a piece of SHT, but she still is a so-so healer and is a bother if someone like that goes elsewhere. He tells her to keep doing her best in her aim to become a hero, and he's sure that her precious mama is still watching down from heaven. As it greatly angers Freya, MC says that he didn't say a word to him or use any sort of bright language to call him young Lacey, greatly shocking his members. MC tries to put salt on the wound, saying that he couldn't give a crap about this NB nonsense. Don't judge someone through appearances. The surrounding people taunt MC for his vulgar behavior. The dual swordsman says that it's just what he expected from his companion. And as he's laying in the mature attitude needed to talk to them, look who is saying this. On another note, the fact that he is here must mean he is also here for the selection tournament, for which MC agrees, saying that Freya has to, as the douchebag says that he looks forward to that and makes sure to be careful of any unforeseen incidents, for which MC tells him to be careful too. On the ground, people gossip that it isn't them, the idiots that picked a fight with Sword Flash, and as it is announced, without further ado, the first test, the feast-deciding selection tournament, commences. The scene shifts to the past, where MC asks Freya, what is the quickest way to beat the Demon King? This shocks Freya, who says that they still have to become SS-rank adventurers to enter the Demon King's realm. It is said that the hope of humanity rests on the shoulders of only 7 people in this world, known as Solomon. They alone are adventurers allowed free reign in Idzuma, the demonic front line, and those closest to being called heroes. In the present, as the selection is announced, an old man sees Freya behind, shivering in fear, and wonders why she is even in a place like this. Surrounding people gossip about her, and as she trips onto a huge armored person who gives her a scary glare, her colleague asks how dare she show such disrespect. Freya gets behind MC, scared, as the armored man asks what children are doing in a place like this, if they are lost, and about her parents, as they continuously make fun of MC without knowing it. MC gets angry and says, listen here, you geezer, and listen well. The name is Fujima, and here is Freya. These are the names of the sacred ones who will soon kick the ass off of the Demon King. This greatly annoys the surrounding people, but seeing the confidence in MC's eyes, the armored person calms down and introduces himself as Gandalf, the leader of a B-class party, Gardner, along with his comrades Jin and Kin. He asks MC if they should fight it out in a heated battle on equal terms. As they leave, a soldier on guard yawns, saying that it's finally the selection and he should be placed somewhere better. However, he gets scared seeing a huge army of goblins charging. As he alerts the people, Freya explains that when a new dungeon is formed, it attracts monsters, and on rare occasions, they swarm together and stampede toward it. MC reassures that this is still the royal capital, and they have the royal knights and many adventurers gathered. The soldier's colleague asks him to calm down, but the soldier senses something is not right. He counts over 1,000 of them by just looking, and there are a significant number of ogres within their ranks. The douchebag gets excited and proposes a competition for the spoils, as the dungeon belongs to the adventurers. The surrounding adventurers agree, and the head chief declares that the selection will shift to a new mission, a mass repulsion battle, having obtained permission from the king. This is a formal request from the kingdom of Rurasso. Adventurers are tasked with defending the castle and are asked to show their potential. Freya can't believe that the gates are opened, and the huge swarm of goblins is attacked by the adventurers. The douchebag and his party start to massacre the goblins. A huge battle takes place, with a considerable number of adventurers getting killed. But here, MC tries to motivate this scaredy cat to participate in the battle. But as she sees an injured person, she rushes to heal them. The man can't believe that she healed all those wounds in a single go, expressing amazement. Just as he speaks, a goblin tries to attack her from above. Gandalf protects her, and the goblins are taken care of by Jin and Kin. Gandalf assures Freya that he trusts she is unharmed. Freya thanks him, and Gandalf asks if she is truly satisfied with this, warning that she might lose her chance at F. Freya replies that, as a healer, she can't leave someone collapsing in front of her, no matter what. She expresses that if her late mother were here, she would do the same, referring to her as a strong and kind woman who fought for others. She aspires to become a hero to surpass her mother's dream. It is revealed that Mar von Freya is the head of the prestigious Nobel family, said to be from a northern country. She was the first female Salaun, also known as Flame Princess Mary's healer and wearer of the flaming field. Rumors suggest she perished 15 years ago during the Great War at the hands of the demon tribe. Gandalf expresses surprise at the existence of survivors from her family in this place. Gandalf reassures Freya, telling her not to worry and to focus on healing while leaving her safety in his hands. As Freya asks for clarification, Gandalf states that defending the idols of the younger generation is a duty for old soldiers. MC suggests grabbing a pint when everything is over, expressing confidence that drinking with them will be smooth. Gandalf acknowledges this banter, and both pledge to make it through alive. The douchebag returns, criticizing their lack of silence. He comments on Freya's growth and mentions the rumors he spread about her being a traitor. Despite his efforts to banish her, she shows no sign of quitting. Gandalf expresses interest in hearing the stories, but the douchebag rushes to appear behind Gandalf to successfully slash him. He claims Gandalf will be dead either way, and Gandalf vomits blood to fall down. The douchebag mocks Gandalf's fate, belittling the party made up of a frank healer and a lousy brat. Jin and King attempt to attack, but the douchebag's lackeys apprehend them, labeling them as weak. The douchebag asserts that the weak should stay put, keep their mouths shut, and listen to the strong. MC recalls his past and faces the douchebag, who appears before him. The douchebag threatens MC that the next time he is reborn, he will come back a little smarter as he tries to slash MC, but is stopped by the MC, who says that looks like wherever he goes, they always find good-for-nothing bastards, and from there on, he is going to show them style as punks get their ass kicked. As MC has blocked the douchebag's attack, and as the douchebag says, who is going to beat him? He thinks that just then he blocked him, and was it a fluke? There is no way a brat like him could see through his slash attack. As Freya thinks, she remembers in the past as MC was confronting a huge mantis. As scared from it she was hiding behind as MC single-handedly deflected all his attacks with his wrench as he knocked it out of the ground in a single attack, as he easily knocked him out of the park, leaving her in awe. As MC called the wrench pion, as this is the kind of shape that is built for slugging, as he was itching for this. As Freya can't believe that it's so amazing and how he managed to deal with that monster. MC says that this puppy, a combo of material strengthening and physical enhancement, is the world's first double-core product, and with his eyes, he has got that, as all bases are covered to propel everything. He further says that he has been tweaking stones day in and day out, and his eyes have been getting even sharper, and if he focuses really hard, it looks like it's slowing down time, which shocks Freya. In the present, as MC asks that if she doesn't do something soon, these old guys are in some trouble, as he knows that she of all people can still save her as she dashes towards them to save them. And as I think that this guy is one creepy bastard, Valk says that this is the end, and he will make him regret underestimating them, and he's going to slaughter them. Suddenly a guy is coming flying towards him as his comrade stops it, saying that this is a piece of shit coming towards them as they see the fellow adventurers running away as one of them says, "How can such a monster come here?" As they say that is the estimated subjection rank of special as Lord of the Black Forest and ruler of the goblins, the Ogre King Goblin Lord. The Goblin Lord directs his subordinates to kill off the adventurers as one of the douchebags, Lackey, says that it is super bad news as the douchebag says that they will kill it and if they cut that thing into pie it's only then that they will succeed at feast. And now seems like a convenient time. They have plenty of meat shields, as the three of them agree. And they show a creepy smile toward each other as the douchebag says how lucky MC is and that he will deal with him after he has taken this. MC says that by all means, take this opportunity to flee as far as he likes, as the douchebag emits his aura, and as the Goblin Lord is massacring the adventurers, Freya is having a hard time. MC says that there is a limit to how much mana she can burn, for which she says that if she isn't going to, she will continue to fire, and for which MC says that then he better put all up his strength to protect her, as the douchebag laughs creepily, saying that the IDOTs are really beyond help and how long are they going to keep leaning on others, and no matter how far they go, trash is still trash. Whatever the means, keep making more meat shields for them as they decide to take all there is to take and blow everything else away in their way. After a huge fight takes place, many adventurers lose their lives, and after a brutal battle, they finally swear that they won it. They actually manage to take that behemoth down. And as expected, Feast is decided to be of Shiden. MC asks Freya if she's okay, as she is shivering from the fatigue, and he says that it's all right as she got to learn when to call it a day. The douchebag approached, saying that they really lent him a hand out there, as it was a walk in the park with her healing all the wounded every chance she got. Though some sacrifices still had to be made from among their own, as her party member Eltiko was heavily injured, she was about to pass away, and this jerk had said that it's over for her. As he abandons her, he says that fool of an elf over there is no longer with them. Still, Freya tries to heal her to faint down the city, which is echoed by the praises and slogans of Shiden as they announce that he is the savior of the city. They sing his compliments as it is announced that the right of feast shall be granted to those who showed distinguishing service during the repulsive battle. The king decides based on the recommendations given to the participating adventurers, but it's pretty much settled that Shiden has claimed it. It is announced that, without further ado, he shall announce who has earned the right to challenge the new dungeon in Bow. Valk is creepily thinking that with fear comes faith and recognition, using that as a foothold. S-Class and even Solaun are within his grasp as he taunts the surrounding people as trash, thinking they will witness the birth of a true hero. But to his surprise, as the name that is announced is Frovon Freya, she's asked to step forward, as he loses his cool and shows his real disgusting face. He screams out, "Don't mock with him," and questions what a worthless piece of trash like her, who can't even fight, has to be the feast. As he shows his true personality, one of her allies asks to cool it down. The surrounding people say what that was all about and seem to think that he defeated the thing on his own or something. He must be letting the fact that he's a class get to his head. It is announced that, sorry to break it to him, but all of the injured people from before say that all of them owe Freya for saving their lives, so they decided to side with her. Valk can't believe that and thinks that this has to be a joke, since there are so many people siding with her. She laughs and says that they have really done it. She has really done it. As Valk tries to object to this decision, saying that where is the king, demanding to hear this from only the mouth of the greatest man in the country, as from before Gandalf comes in, saying that this has already been decided. Valk taunts that he doesn't want to hear it from geezer from a snail bust like him as he has no say in it. But to his surprise, as the soldiers point their weapons towards him, Valk asks what he thinks they are doing. As Gandalf moves his helmet, he says clearly that his eyes are not as perceptive as they should be. As Kin announces to watch his manners, the man who stands before them is the 17th King of Rurasso, His Majesty Lord Gandalf de Rurasso, leaving Freya in deep shock. As Gandalf says, he does believe that they made a promise to MC, saying that he is quite ready for the banquet of the earth and wouldn't mind joining it tonight. Gandalf says that adventuring is just a hobby of his, as the front lines are much too quiet. MC calls Gandalf a kid, saying that he caught him off guard. Valk remembers his sin of slashing the king. And the moment he is going through is what we call OSHT, he is fucked up. Gandalf says that this is a shame, and soon stories of his misdeeds will spread throughout the land. He cannot deny his strength, but strength alone is not enough, and without her, the world would be a hollow place. As he approaches Freya, saying that from this country's feast, not from a true hero, he expects only one thing. As he and his soldiers bow down, saying that the spirit of those who become stronger for the sake of others rather than themselves is a righteous heart. Freya thinks that she always wondered how someone like her could become a hero. MC says that they ended up choosing her, funnily enough, because she didn't attack anyone. Despite being a one-handed F-ranker with some nasty burns and a lifelong loner hated by the country, he says that it sure has been tough for her so far. But she's got a lot to be proud of, keep going as she is, and know what? He knows she has been on the right path all this time, as Freya cries out. The scene shifter in an inn, as Ken's is bursting in anger as his brain nerve is about to explode, as MC and the king are having a lifetime of drinking the booze. The king is screaming that tonight they will celebrate like frolic and unabashed revelry. These fine beverages come at the courtesy of the royal family's offers, and they have to drink them to their heart's content, for which MC says that it makes one hell of a tax rebate as he slaps onto the king, making Ken angry. He advises them that it would be more dignified to hold this event in a castle. The king says that the castle is too uptight and he hates it there, for which MC grabs the booze to his head, saying that now it's getting it, as Ken says. Ken tries to tell Jin that she's also an imperial knight, so do something, but finds that she has knocked a couple of adventurers out of the booze festival. The adventurers are coming towards Freya, seeing that her healing ability is so amazing, which is out of this world. They compliment how amazing she is, as she was able to return to B class thanks to the king's influence. The adventurer clenches his fist, saying they did make fools of themselves, and that bastard Valk is going to crack his balls open. In my comments, he says that next time he sees him, he's beating him to the pulp. His buddy says that with a healing ability like that, even if they are feeling overwhelmed by the front light, they will be back on their feet in no time. Freya thinks that the front line, the tertial boundary between humans and demons at Aduma, as they gossip that the Aduma is a pipe dream when it comes down to those monsters, is just abnormally strong. A regenerating body that's hard as steel, inexhaustible mana. Their forces seem to be comprised of 6 generals leading 18 divisions, with a demon king at the top. Worse yet, they have the intelligence to comprehend human languages and can even fly. Even a division commander possesses a challenge enough for 5S rankers. They wouldn't last 5 minutes. MC asks what they are talking about as he's crying, saying that he always knew he could trust her to get the job done. As he cries down, Freya can't believe that he's saying that. And from behind, a man pats on Freya's head, saying that this is feast material and he isn't going to accept that so easily. As a healer who can't defeat a single foe, she is kidding him, as she is just a helpless woman. As MC is about to crunch his hand, a beautiful elf stops his hand. He stops his hand as Abuser tries to taunt her and expresses his illegitimate intentions. But as the elf gives him a head bunk, he falls down defeated. Elf says that she will not forgive anyone who insults Freya, as Freya thinks that she knows her name. She asks, who may that she be? As she recognizes her as one of the Dausavag's party members. She calls her Iltiko, who says that from today on, she will be accompanying both of them. MC agrees, saying that on this happy occasion, let's break this out, as he takes out a bottle of booze, saying that this is genuine Japanese sake, the only bottle he got from back home, as this is a first-rate item with near-perfect charm. Freya realizes that the reason he delayed their meeting time and went home solely was for this. She thinks that ever since she met this person, her fate has been set into motion, as she is happy. She asks that she could help herself a little as she sees MC drinking booze with some big girls with their marshmallows hanging out. Seeing this jealous Freya, she tries to drink all the bottles in one gulp as she falls down. MC says that she will catch a cold, for which Iltiko gives her a jacket, as she feels that she needs something more as she takes out her undergarments. MC realizes that these chicks are natural-born earheads. The scene shifters the next day as, in front of the dungeon, King farewells MC and his party, saying that he trusts that they will proceed with caution and they shall be praying for their good health, for which MC says that he is loud and clear and he will have a cracking story to tell him when they are back. As Freya thinks that the dream dungeon embodies a world with unknown layers without knowing anything as she looks towards MC, and then there's that abnormal way the mast was subdued in Labyrinth to did it appear by chance or in turn with MC's reincarnation, as MC says that let's go and it's a treasure hunting time as they enter toward the dungeon they are out to hunt with infinite possibilities which will happen in their way. The scene shifter, a little girl with a scrap of cloth around her, is called Iltiko, despite being an elf. She has negligible mana. The girl born with a cursed woman of black hair, the clan heretic Iltiko. As an orphan with no knowledge of her birthplace, she spent her childhood believing that she didn't belong. She was brutally beaten by the others and even abandoned by her party members. It was during days like those that she remembered her feelings of resignation and infirmity. Well, that's how it goes. Even in that moment as her life was fading away, that was all she thought. But on that day, for the first time, she experienced a true act of devotion from another person. That was when she decided that this was a human worth protecting. A soldier is yawning in front of the dungeon, thinking that it has been 3 days already. How far down are they planning to go? If memory serves, the first priority period is 5 days. Once that's over, the other adventurers get free reign over the place, and maybe he will quit this knighting business and rake in some riches too. From behind, a big blast happens, as MC says that he must have missed that sweet, fresh air. Freya asks, what's so fresh about this? As MC says, no need to overthink about it, as he always wanted to use that line. Iltiko offers a handkerchief to Freya, saying that her face is shallow, for which she says that her nose is bleeding even more. The soldier gets surprised that they have returned, as it is announced that the information they gathered about the dungeon and the layers, beasts, magic stones, etc. is given. As Gandalf and his group are in shock as they can't believe that MC is overflowing with dangerous energy emitting from him, MC says that he's got to say that again. He got his hands plenty off with a bunch of handy new stones. Gandalf, sweating, thinks that he dares to ask, "But what is that mystical SS Great Magic Stone?" MC explains that he can only use it to travel to the places he has already seen. And nothing beats a nice hot bath after a long day in the dungeon. He picks out a bag from his dimensional pocket. And Gandalf can't believe that it's another mythical stone, the spatial house. MC adds that he found a whole bunch of other interesting stones, but he's eager to get these back to the workshop. MC reveals he got SS mythical rank great stones. Gandalf can't believe that in his country there are 2 of them, and one of them is the Great Hero's Transition Crystal. If any of the other lands were to learn of this, he would get in big trouble. He faints down as the adventurers marvel at the feat, picking up 2 SS grade stones in just one go. They giggle, smelling an opportunity. MC senses a dangerous monster coming from the dungeon and asks the adventurer to move out. But the adventurer has already been cut down by the beast. MC wonders what the blue thing is doing. As his buddy asks for help as his comrade's body is split open, Freya cries, saying that she's sorry. With her power alone, she can't do anything the moment they die. The huge cocoon opens up, and a menacing colossal monster unveils itself. It asks in a creepy voice to tell him what kind of stones they found. The soldiers can't believe that it spoke, and Gandalf recognizes it as a variant that understands human language. This fiend is of the demon clan. The variant says that the demon lord told him of suspicious happenings at this cave as he clenched his fist, saying they should start by flattening all these ants first, considering it a courtesy of the 6th Division Vice Commander Deathbludge on Manhwa. The soldiers recognize him as a division vice commander, and they are up against a ranked demon. MC takes his wrench out, saying that this happened a lot faster than expected, but he's getting goosebumps already. He can't wait to find out just how strong the demon is.